everyone. Today we'll be covering a very interesting topic called cyber relationships. Uh, my name is Saurabh, and I'm joined with my friend Ajit. And today we'll be covering this very interesting topic. And there are three key elements or three key parts to it. The first part is netiquette, and we'll see how netiquette is important while we surf on the internet. Second is cyberbullying. We'll understand how cyberbullying, what cyberbullying is, and how we can be cautious about getting engaged in cyberbullying. And the last part, which Ajit will cover, is developing safe online relationships on internet. Very important when we are surfing on the internet. So the netiquette, the dictionary meaning is correct or acceptable way of using the internet. Unfortunately, there is no written rule, the way we should be engaging on the internet, but it is something which we have learned over time on how we engage on internet. These are like best practices or guidelines which you should be following while engaging on the internet, right? The first point is treat others online as you would like to be treated, right? So often it happens that we get very emotional, or our emotions take over us, and we might use harsh words, or we would say things which we don't really mean to the other person. Important thing to note is that the person on the other side of the internet is also a human being. They also have emotions. They are also reading and understanding what you are trying to communicate, and if it is misinterpreted or misunderstood, then it becomes really bad. So be very cautious and always keep this in your mind on treating others how they would be, how you want to be treated. Second is double check before you hit send. uh, this is a very common mistake. You as kids, or we as adults, also do this, that oftentimes we do not check a couple of things. One is who are the recipients, right? Sometimes we think that the person we are sending this message to is just one person, but there is a group. By mistake I wrote in a group, for an example. Second is, what am I writing? Does it make it making sense? Is the message very clear? Because you have to understand, it is internet, right? It is not face-to-face communication. It is not like the person will see your behavior or your expressions, etc. They will just read the words and make sense out of it. Or so be very careful with that. Next is, don't say something online that you wouldn't say to someone's face. So with internet, what happens is we often think that we are invisible when we are sitting on this side of the internet, and people on the other side cannot see us, cannot know that who is writing, etc. Even if we get anonymous user IDs, or user IDs which do not directly associate with our uh, email address or our identity, we think that we cannot be traced back. It is not true, right? And the person on the other side will know that it is you who is saying. So it is very important for you to keep this in mind, and not saying or commenting, or things which you cannot do it on other person's face. Very important. Next is, understand that you will never agree with everyone online. So sometimes we post a picture and we get nasty comment, or we are in a discussion and we are getting comments with which we may not agree for various reasons. Uh, and we what happens is we try to make other people understand, and it is either through by giving logic, or sometimes becoming angry, or saying, moving making the communication very negative. So that can have bad impact. So it is good in such circumstances that you leave from that communication. You do not comment back, which can be taken in a negative light. Last is understanding when to use caps, right? You would have seen grammar has different English grammar has different rules, etc. But on the internet, caps means shouting, right? So do not use caps at all. Only if rare of the rarest situations, when you really want to make your point through, then you use it, but avoid it as much as possible, right? So these are some 5 guidelines you should keep in mind while communicating on the internet. and following, having netiquette while you are surfing, or you are in WhatsApp, or various other social media, etc. Be very careful about all of these things. Next is cyberbullying. I'm sure you would have heard the word bullying, right? In school, you would have heard about incidents of bullying, when one student does it to other, or one group does it to other. So bullying is basically intimidating, demeaning, or embarrassing others in front, in the public space. That is bullying. It can become physical also, but on the internet, uh, when the same things are repeated, this is called cyberbullying, and it is as bad as a real time physical bullying. So some of the things you should keep in mind about cyberbullying. One is, never share pictures, videos, or chat snapshot of anyone without permission. It is very important, and keep it in mind, when you take pictures of others or with others, and if you're sharing on the internet, or sharing in WhatsApp groups, or Snapchat, etc., always take permission. Always give them a heads up that you are going to do that, and if they are uncomfortable, they should let you know. So this is very important, because it could impact, privacy of those people, uh, those who are sharing with you their pictures, or their emotions. It's very important. Next is, never communicate negative or bad about anyone using social media or internet. So there's a thing, right? I mean, on the internet, nothing is hidden, nothing gets deleted. Internet is alive forever, like forever. I can go back to, say, 20 years back, what was written. I can find those news articles, and or social media. If I posted something, I can find that out as well. So it is important that don't leave a negative communication as a trace back, to yourself. So be very important not to say anything negative, not to use harsh words, not to try to, not to demean or embarrass anybody else. Be it on, even if you have anonymous user ID or things like those, you can still be traced back, and it can be traced back to your identity. Always seek help from a trusted adult. So since it is, yeah, there is no written rule, or there is no exact way of how things to be done. If there is any confusion, if you end up in that situation, always reach out to a trusted adult. Now, the trusted adult could be your parent, it could be your teacher, or your elder siblings. So if you are confused, or if you do not understand, or if you have any ambiguity, go and speak to them, and take their permission, or make them understand what you're going through, and take their opinion or guidance. Okay. Next is, if you discover others sharing nasty comments about someone online, then keep a copy and show it to an adult or teacher to stop bullying. Right. So it is your responsibility as well to stop bullying. And what you can do in such scenarios is, suppose you see something happening where people are, when other kids are bullying, somebody, better take those snapshots and go and show your teachers, go and show your parents something bad is happening. This will help you in reducing bullying in cyberspace as much as possible. Next is, never join in, right? Sometimes we get added to, say, WhatsApp groups, chat groups, Facebook groups. Instagram doesn't have groups, but yeah, on different social media, where we are not invited. So it is important that if you understand what that group is all about, and if you don't feel that you should be participating, just leave that group. You don't need to comment, you don't need to make any statement there. Just leave that group. uh, like this, you will reduce cyberbullying. So these are some of the points you should keep in mind. Now Ajit will cover on how to develop safe online relationships. Over to you, Ajit.
Thanks, Saurabh. That was very good explanation and insight about the netiquettes and cyberbullying. So, friends, I would like to add something about safe online relationship. So, there are some points which will be helpful for us to have a safe online relationship. So, first point is stay positive. So, a good way to have safe online relationship is to follow a simple rule: stay positive. So, we have to think about all our acts, all our words, and our behavior online, and we have to think whether it's positive or not. whether it's hurtful to someone or not. If answer is yes, then we have to think and accordingly we have to behave on online. Second point is share with care. So basically, it's very tempting to share some videos or photos online without thinking about it, about that particular photograph or about the wording about that particular incident. So we have to review and we have to take a due care whenever we are sharing online, whatever we are sharing. So we have to share with care. Next point is forgive and forget. So sometimes we can get bad comments on social media, so and we could get upset and angry. So at that time, it's very easy to say something back. But however, doing that we have to be careful because it could be disrespectful or it could be hurtful to someone. So we have to forget and we have to forgive. We should not use the full words or full language. Next point is have patience for mistakes. Basically, we all do mistakes. We all have made mistakes, and it's making mistakes is part of being human. So we should also be accepting about the mistakes of others, and we have to be patient and we have to be understanding. And the last point is interaction with social and cultural responsibility. Being social and cultural sensitive means we have to be aware of the differences. We should be accepting the differences or the opinions, and also we should be, we should not be assuming that whatever we are explaining it will be very much understandable by someone else. So we have to be sensitive whenever we are having any social online activity. So yeah, these are the some pointers which will help us to behave safe online. The next slide is basically wrap up or to conclude about this particular session. It involves three activities: sense, think, and act. So it's in this process, first of all, is first activity is a sense. We have to identify the possible risk of harmful behavior which is done online, and we have to learn how to protect ourselves and others. Second part is think. We have to analyze, we have to evaluate, we have to think, we have to reflect on the online situation based on the various, this principle. The last one is act. So based on our identification, our analysis, we have to translate our understanding into action so as to have safe and positive online presence. So yeah, these are the various points about the cyber wellness and safe online relationships. So I just want to thanks all of the audience and thanks for your time. Wish you all a very safe cyber journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.